Hi, I'm Rebecca, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the 3 main myths. This is our weight loss edition. Basically what I'm going to go over is, in the very beginning when I was first trying to lose weight, I came to Daryl and I was like, you know what, I'm not eating any sugar, I'm not eating any carbs, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. I actually was putting on weight, and it was just this huge thing I was freaking out about because I wanted to lose weight. I wasn't happy with the way I was. So what he did is he really talked to me about the fact that, you can't always rely on Shit magazine. You can't always rely on Women's Health. You can't always rely on all those tabloid magazines that are telling us, the low carb, no sugar diets. Because sometimes those aren't personalized just for us. A lot of us have done the yo-yo diets. Basically what that means is we're following any single thing that the tabloid posts. So I did the no carb, I did the no sugar, I did the really high protein, I did all the different yo-yo diets you could possibly do. I did those. But what we're realizing is that, yes, I did get results, but the results were so short term. What we're realizing is that to really get the long-term results, that's what we're going to go off during this video. We're really going to show you step by step how to get you the results that you want to in a very easy manner. And also, you're going to be able to eat a lot of things that you never were able to eat before. So one of the first ones is that you have to eat healthy. And that you can't eat junk food. Okay, so what I want you to realize is that there is a happy medium in between that. What you can do is you actually can eat healthy. You actually can eat junk food. What was really cool is that Professor Hobb actually did basically a research study based on eating Twinkies. So basically what that was is that he got rid of basically all healthy food. So we ate no healthy, all junk. What's interesting is not only did he lose body fat, but he also lost weight. So what I realized is that, there's something off in the whole diet industry, telling us that we can only eat healthy and that we can't eat junk food. We can't basically eat what we want. So what I want you to realize is that what we can do is if you want to eat healthy and you want to eat junk food, that's okay. For me, I used to be a huge food nut. I used to only eat healthy, literally no carbs, high protein, very high in vegetables. But I want you to realize is that once I stopped eating vegetables, I didn't stop, but I cut it back. Once I cut back eating my vegetables and I went ahead and started eating, some junk food, I actually dropped 2% body fat. So with my own story, what I realized is that I was depriving my body of what it really wanted, which in some cases was fat, which in some cases was sugar, which I had no idea about.
So what do you kind of eat now?
Right now, since I'm living with Daryl, he eats a load of crap nonstop. So my diet consists of mostly Chipotle, McDonald's.
What did we have last night?
Last night we had Alberto's. It was like 11 o'clock and we went and got breakfast burritos, which before would have been like a huge no-no. I would have never done that. We also got a thing of horchata, which is like pure sugar. And it's like a sugar rice milk drink. And then Daryl got a ham and breakfast burrito. I got a chicken, beans, and rice. Pinto beans are one of the highest things in fat ever. And I ate it and I woke up today even leaner than I was, days before.
And how often do you eat vegetables? Just how much do you cut back?
Very rarely, honestly, when it comes down to it. A lot of things that I'm leaning towards, they might have some vegetables in it, but they're very high in, which is interesting, salt. Very high in salt, very high in fat. And yet I'm still able to lose body fat month to month.
Cool. And in general, when you say no junk food, what kind of would people consider junk food, for example?
Junk food, basically everything on my list. So McDonald's, McDonald's, Taco Bell.
And would this just be considered fast food, or are there other types of junk food too?
No, because we're going through ice cream, chocolate.
Ooh, a big no-no.
Which for us PMSing folks, we need chocolate.
Should have seen how big this thing was.
So what we're realizing is that you can eat McDonald's, you can eat Taco Bell, you can eat ice cream, and you also can eat your chocolate. But what I want you to realize is that you have a certain amount of calories you eat throughout the day. What we're going to do is that if you want to eat this kind of food, what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut down your calorie intake, or basically the size of your meal, throughout the beginning and middle. And then at night, if you decide you want to eat, keep in mind you can eat this because you have very low calorie intake. So what we're going to go over is basically eating at night. What's happening right now is the media is basically telling us that we can't eat from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And what happens if we do eat during that time? We gain. But what we're realizing is that our body doesn't care. When we eat. What it cares about is the total amount of calories. We eat total, so basically throughout the whole entire day. So what I want you to realize is that, maybe if you have a big dinner date planned, or maybe if you binge at night, what I want you to realize is that, you can eat throughout the day. Okay, so we're gonna have breakfast. We have a snack. We have lunch, and we also have dinner. And what about that late night craving that we always have? I'm gonna put late night craving. Okay, so what I want you to realize is that, I have a lot of clients right now, they binge at night, no matter what they do. And that's okay, because you know what, I'm in the same exact boat. I love eating at night. So what I do is, sometimes when I wake up, I have early clients. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out breakfast altogether. And then basically around like noonish, around 11, I'm kind of getting a little bit of hunger. So what I'll do is I'll have a little snack. And then, if we decide we're gonna eat a big dinner, I want you to think ahead. Decide, I'm not gonna have a very big lunch. I'm gonna have a little lunch. Once we have that little lunch, so far we've had a small snack, a little lunch, and then we're basically able to have a big old dinner. And we can also have that late night craving. So this is when the ice cream or the chocolate comes in. Dinner. We can basically have whatever you like. What we're realizing is that you don't have to restrict what you're eating at dinner or what at night, because we have cut down, so we basically cut in half calories throughout your day.
And how often would you say you eat past 6 p.m.?
Always, no matter what, because we have boot camp at 6 p.m. So by the time we get home, it's around 7 or 8. Dinner is usually around 7 or 8. And literally, with Daryl in the house, we can end up eating around 11 or 12 as well, because he just has a metabolism like a monkey.
And I mean, what do you normally eat within those time frames? Are you eating normally healthy foods, would you say? Or I mean,
it's almost never healthy. What's happening is that we're trying to get something usually quick and usually relatively affordable. So if we do go out, I tend to usually go towards a pasta, or tend to go towards basically, something with cream or something with butter, something with salt. So usually sometimes they're high in meat, but something that I'm realizing is that if I usually have a high meat day, I usually have a very low meat day. So I'm finding basically a point where I'm even in between.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
So what we did before basically is we looked over some of the two main myths that we always are getting from the media, which is no junk food, all healthy. One of the final myths we're going to go over today is basically that you have to work out tons. You also have to work out a lot. So no matter what, no sweat. You always have to be sweating, no pain, no gain, basically. So what I want you to realize is that usually when clients come to us, they're eating a lot, they're not very active. So if they come to us or they come to our boot camp, what they want us to do is work them out till they're ready to pass out. But what we're finding out, what we're seeing mostly in studies, so in all studies, we're seeing that within 3 months, the client has a 70% chance of being injured. So our job is we're going to see when your body's tired. We're going to give your body that rest that it needs and then also get the most effective workout that we can while you're with us. Another one of the big questions that we get is, can I eat whatever I want and just work out and burn it all off? But really in reality, so something basically that we all know about. So a kid's meal at McDonald's equals around 500 calories. Okay? And then, don't forget all the toppings or the cheese. So we have around 200 to 300 extra. Okay? So keep in mind, so that's going to be around, 700 to even 800 calories per one meal. The average client eats around 1,800 calories per day. So if we're using a whole around 800 calories on one meal. What I want you to realize is that's okay. But the average workout is going to nowhere come close to burning off that whole McDonald's kids meal. If you decide you're going to go out, I'm going to burn off everything that I ate. That's great. That's a great goal. But I want you to realize is that usually one sprint workout which is, just so you know, around level 16 to 18 on a treadmill, going non-stop for 30 minutes. You'll be huffing and puffing by that point, just want to let you know. Then, what's going to happen is that, so that's okay. So usually this workout is going to give you around, so you can mine this now, 500 calories. But the downside is that now, so the 800 kids meal that you ate prior, so we have the 800. We're going to minus that from the 500 workout. That's going to give you a 300 leftover calories. So that's not bad, but what I want you to realize is that this 300 is going to add up. So each meal, if you eat over your total workout time, it's going to constantly add up. So that 300 is going to add to maybe that 100, the mocha or that latte we had for breakfast. Or that muffin, so that's going to be an extra 200. By this point, we're already to 600 extra calories. Okay, that 600 extra calories is equaling fat, which equal pounds. So what we're going to go over now is basically our daily food intake plus workout. So when I'm talking about our daily food intake, what we're going to go over is we're going to go over breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what if you're an early riser? So you have an early breakfast. So our normal calorie intake is going to be from around 300 to 600 calories per meal. So what we're going to realize is that after breakfast, maybe go work out. And the normal idea that when you're working out, you're going to burn, we usually like to go hard. So we're thinking, we burn maybe even up to the 300 mark, even to the 600 mark, which is cool because we're thinking, oh, it's okay, I'm getting rid of everything that I ate. But really, in reality, what we're going to do is I want you to come in realization that we basically overestimate everything. We want ourselves to feel so good about the things that we're doing that really, in reality, we're going to divide our workout in half. So if we're dividing that by 2, you're really only burning around 150 to 300 calories per workout. So if we add that into our normal eating pattern, so the normal eating pattern will be around 500 calories per the meal. So if we're going to choose, let's do 300 at the most. So you're going to take away the 300, workout. That still leaves 200 calories that haven't been claimed or haven't been burned. So most likely what's happening is that when we often plateau, it's because in this situation, it's because we're overestimating what we eat and what we burn. So what I realized is that when I was working out, I was feeling really good about myself. So, I was thinking, oh, I'm burning 300 to 600 calories. I can go get one of those really good mochas and I can just enjoy the whole thing, not have to worry about it. But really, in reality, the mocha is probably around 600 or up. Because if I'm adding whipped cream, I'm adding full milk, whole milk. Or, I like little sprinkles, so that's, topping it over the edge. So what we're going to do is for every one of my workouts, I cut my total amount of calories that I think I burned in half. So in this case, when we're thinking that, we did burn around 300 or 600, I'm automatically going to the 150 mark. I'm automatically going to the 300 mark. Then when I track what I'm eating or I track what I'm doing, I'm thinking, oh geez, I still have this 200 calories that I have left over. I'm going to count this as my snack. So right in here, when I would normally have my snack, I'm thinking, you know what, I've had my snack because I ate over my total amount during my breakfast time. So then when we go into our lunch and we go into our dinner, we're keeping track of what we're eating, realizing that, it's okay now, I can now eat a nice sized lunch, I can now eat a nice sized dinner. And keep in mind that I'm not going to plateau because I'm still getting rid of this beginning 200. What happens is those 200s, if we have a 200 every single meal, extra. And a dinner, I'm not going to lie, it's usually around 400 extra. As you know, we get the butter on the mashed potatoes, we get the gravy, all the nice things that make things taste really good. So all those extra things, so we have that 200 plus 200 plus 400. So if we're looking at, that's 800 extra calories.
So this would be breakfast?
Yeah,
lunch?
so this is going to be breakfast. This is going to be lunch. And this is going to be dinner. So, when we're going over basically what we ate, we're feeling really good, but really when you add it up, this is what's keeping us from losing weight. This is what's keeping that extra weight on because we're having that extra 200 at breakfast, extra 200 at lunch, extra 400 at dinner, equaling to be 800 calories, equaling fat, equaling extra pounds. Everything that we went over today, the not eating at night, the eating healthy at all times, and working out non-stop. What I want you to realize is that instead of, following those strict guidelines, I want you to be able to eat what you want, but be more realistic about what you eat. Because in the beginning with me, I was lying to myself. It was, I was just like, oh, I'm doing so good. And then I had that really nice mocha, or I have that really nice bread, or something like that. That's okay. But we need to realize that in our daily calorie intake, not just that one meal. When I first met Daryl, I literally was limiting everything I ate. I'd go to holiday parties, and I'd go out with my girlfriends, like I was saying before, and, I'd go to Starbucks. And I literally would make myself sick about it because, I'm reading all these books. I have pamphlets in my purse as, I'm ordering this latte telling me that, you're not supposed to have coffee. You're not supposed to have milk. You're not supposed to have that sugar. But the thing is, I literally was limiting every single thing that I ate. And it came to a point I was so unhappy. I'd go out to my family gatherings and I wouldn't be able to eat anything my dad made, who is an amazing cook. Or, I wouldn't be able to eat with my girlfriends. I'd get a salad and I'd cut it in half. I mean, how enjoyable is a salad 24/7? So what I want you to realize is that instead of limiting yourself like I did, I want to be there before you do that. I want to make you realize that I want you to be able to live a free lifestyle and be able to eat what you want, when you want, work out when you want, how you want to, and eat whatever you want to. If you want to eat healthy one day, that's okay. If you want to eat badly one day, that's okay. But we're going to follow these guidelines to really make you realize what you're eating when you're eating. Because honestly, when it comes down to it, everything you eat does count, but we're going to make it also count in a mindful manner, as well as it's going to make it's going to taste good at the same time.